Well, my goodness, it's 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning, and I'm going to spend some very restful time out here. We've got the green Norton up on the lift. First thing we're going to do is see if this painter's tape will come off smoothly without doing any damage, because it's been on there a long time, longer than I should have left it. So we'll take all this off and see how that goes. So far so good. I'll do this off camera, but apparently it's going to come off okay. Thank goodness for that. All right, and over here, look what we have. We have a little box of parts that probably goes to the 441 Victor. And this beautiful box, it just arrived yesterday, and it came from Vietnam. And I have to say, it's well packed. I mean, seriously, there's no damage to the outside at all. So, I'm going to unpack this. I'm going to set this thing up into tripod, and we will unpack it together to see what the seat looks like when it comes out. Kind of cool. Here we go. All right, step first. I got all the blue tape off, and I'm thrilled to say that with all the tape and all the moving this bike has had from here to the custom seat makers to see if they could make a seat and back, the bike came through 100% unscathed. It's beautiful, not a mark on it. So I'm thrilled about that. Okay, so I just want to let you know that we are at a good starting point now, and I'm going to start unpacking the seat and see how it goes. All right, let's open this box and see what that seat looks like. It's well packaged, I gotta say that. So far, so good. Okay. I'm not going to run out of styrofoam for a while. I'd say it's well packaged. It's starting to emerge. Oh my. Oh my. Isn't that nice? Well, I'm impressed. I mean, if it drops onto the bike this smoothly, wow. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll put this on the bike and see how it goes. All right. Got those all the way out. All the way out. Here we go. Oh, please go on smoothly. Let's get over here and do this side properly. And what is with this? Here we go, we're getting closer. Okay, we're getting really close here now. It's starting to fit down now. I'll go on the other side now and I'll work on the other side and see what I can do. It's very tight fit. I don't want to force anything. I'm within a ½ inch on the other side. Now let's see if I can get it on this side. It's very tight. All right. I'm going to spread these mounts here a little bit. See if I can get them away from the painted part because they're up against the paint here. I'm not sure. It's really close. I'm going to do some reconnoitering and I'll get back to you as soon as I make a decision. All right, I'm working on clearance issues with the seat. The seat is hitting on this area of the mount, okay? And what it's doing is it's hitting here. And I don't want to scratch this. No, I'll tell you straight up. Let me go over and show you my seat. This is a fastback section, and I ended up putting this black plastic here because my seat scratched my tail section. So I put this, let me see if I can, I'll lift this off, hang on. And show you what I did. Not easy one-handed. Okay, here. You see what I did to mine? I put this black plastic here because this rubbed putting it on. Now, another thing it's different about mine that I did and the other one. Let me get this seat out of the way. I'll be right back. Okay, back to the clearance problems. Clearance. I have my tail section right up against the frame. See that? I mean, it's flush up against it. When I put this one on over here, I deliberately put a spacer washer in there. Can you see that? Right in, let me get up in here. Okay, here. Let's see, right there. There's a spacer washer in between the seat and the frame to hold it off just a little bit. See that gap? All right, so I'm going to take these spacer washers out of here and see if that helps me slip this seat into place. So that's what I'm going to do right now. You can see the gap there. There, that's the washer right in there. I'm going to take that out and go ahead and have the seat up of the tail section up against the frame like on my bike. It won't be as pretty, but maybe it'll help this seat fit on better. That's the gap right there. I'm going to eliminate that. And then I may end up putting a protective plastic on here. I don't know yet. If it was easy, anybody could do it. On the other hand, what an opportunity to mess things up. Now, speaking of that, just that initial setting, that initial try, see this? Remember, that wasn't there. And both of those are just from that initial fitting, and there's nothing sharp here. This is all padded. There's no metal showing. And how's that happen? There's nothing there to cause that. Makes me crazy. Anyway, that's where we are. I'm going to take these spacers out from behind this tail section. All right, continuing the quest for clearance. Both shock absorbers are released. This weld right here, that tiny little weld, can you see it sticking out here? Just a little bit? That's causing this to move away from the frame. So I'm going to grind away this little weld right here and then file it away and then touch it up with black paint. That's enough to give us some unwanted clearance. Let's take a look at the other side. I've got this whole tail section released. Over here, same thing. Look at that weld. Can you see how it's sticking out right there? That's enough to hold this away from the frame. Enough to cause grief. This is okay through here, but that weld at the end that guy right there. I'm going to try the Dremel and see how it goes. I may end up working with a file to get those out of there so this will fit flush against the frame. Okay, I knocked the head off that weld. It's nice and smooth now. I'll show you how I did it. I used the cutting tool on the end of my Dremel. Just gently. Like this. That's what it is. Now I'm going to go over to the other side and do that side. All right, now I'm going to be the first to say it. I don't like what I'm doing. I don't like the idea of grinding on frames, on motorcycles. I especially don't like grinding on motorcycles when I know that there is gas in this gas tank. But I'm far enough away from it, and sparks are pretty small. Hey, small spark can kill you too. But I am, so I'm going to let you watch me knock this weld down. I should also say, this Nitai was holding this away, so I'm going to get rid of it too. I'll do another one maybe afterwards somehow to hold that wire in place. So that's gone, and this little weld right here, I'm going to knock it down and hope it doesn't explode and kill me. Okay, that's done. Both sides are done. Nice and flush. I'm going to put it back together and see if that's bought us anything. Okay, I've got the welds down and out, and I will show you that there is no longer a gap. If there is, it's minuscule. There's no gap down at the bottom. Let's see if I can get in here like this. This is where the gap was. So that gap is gone. And over here, this gap is gone. Nice and flush up against the frame. So I'm going to try to try the seat again. See how it goes. All right, I'm going to try to set the seat on here again and see how it goes. You know what? I think I'm going to put another piece of blue tape right about here, where it tends to touch on both sides. See if that helps. I think I'll do this here too. Why not? Fitting, feeling, fondling. It is so much fun. The heck of it is, this is not what I do. I fix bikes, I repair bikes, I wire bikes, I get bikes running. I don't do what I'm doing. I don't do this. So, not what I want to do. Here we go. Let's try a fit. Oh boy, that's a joke. This side's terrible. If I get this side on, he's just barely on the bolt. Now this side is way up here. I mean, it's just not wide enough. Or long enough. Let's see what the other side's doing. Oh God. One side to the other side, to the other side, to the other side. When that side's down, this side's up. And get that one out about that far. And this side about, I'm all hung up here or something. That far. I'm going to have to try, let me get this thing out of the tripod. There. I'm going to try to spread this area out while bending this area in. Once again, I'm going to try to spread this area up here somehow while bending this area in somehow. So the old saying, you don't want to see how the sausage is made, I'm not going to show you what I'm going to try to do. Okay, the seat is sort of on. Okay, I'm going to take it off again, take the blue tape away and put it back on. But it is sort of on, and it sort of looks good. I mean, it does, it really does. I'll show you some design changes that I would suggest if I were able to reach the people who make it, of which I'm going to send them this video, and we'll talk some more when I get this blue tape out of here, and I'll show you what I did to make it work. All right, some of the modifications I did is I straightened these out. They were sort of dog-legged, if you'll remember. Well, I straightened them out, and then I spread them out between this and this. They could even be spread out a little bit more, I think. So these are now straight, and they're spread out wider. And I was able to get them onto the bike that way. Spreading them involved a vise and a 3-pound sledgehammer, and a lot of strength on my part. So that was done, and once I did that, I was able to get them down onto the bike. So I'm going to put them back now to show you what they look like with the blue tape removed. All right, the seat is on. Now, if I would had my druthers, I would have these be about another ½ inch long, so that they would come down a little farther. They can always be trimmed off by the user. They have to be completely straight in order to miss the bodywork. They can't be dog-legged. And once again, these need to be just a little bit longer. Now, the big thing is, on this bike, these are about, oh geez. On this bike, these ears are about that much too long. They are actually up against the outside of the crevice, of the indentation. They're actually longer than they need to be by about that much. If they came down like this, they would make the installation a lot easier and they'd fit nicer. So maybe that's particular to this bike. I don't know, but I think these are slightly too long and they should be made to fit in here. Okay, so the seat's on, and that's as good as it's going to get. Maybe riding it for a while, the seat will settle down and come down farther here. I don't know if it will or not, but I do know this is as good as I can get it. So anyway, I think I'm going to work on the mount for the left-hand side cover now, because that needs to be done. Well, there she is, all dressed out completely. It's not quite 2 o'clock. I don't remember when I started this morning. I have not worked straight through. I took a couple of breaks. But the bike is all dressed out. The seat is in place. Side cover is installed. I have to make a bracket for back here to lock that lock. I'll do that tomorrow. Let's see. And well, once again, the seat is as good as it's going to get, and looking pretty good. Now, I have to say that the seat might be right. I mean, maybe it should go this far out. I don't know where the tank came from. I don't know where the tail section came from. I don't know that this was ever a complete bike. I may have known when I got the bike, but I don't remember. So if the tail section and the tank and the side covers and the seat all came from different sources, it's hard to say what isn't exactly and precisely correct. So anyway, I'll make the bracket for the side cover tomorrow and then resume trying to get it started, because as I recall, the last time that Kevin and I worked on it, we couldn't get it to start. So that'll be our my next project. Kevin's off for 2 weeks. He's out gallivanting with his really nice BMW heading northeast to visit friends and relatives. He'll be gone for at least another week. So I'm here working on the bikes. Still waiting on parts. So I'm working on this one.